You're looking here at the finished video, actually, of the finished installation, but I wanted to start this video with the qualification that I am no expert in mowers, I am no expert in TORO. I have no proper knowledge of when warranties are still in effect or whether they become void by doing an installation such as this. I am showing you what I have done and how I have done it, and you can consider whether that might work out for you. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy the video. Hello friends, I have a TORO TimeCutter MX4260. It's got a 42-inch deck. It's a smaller zero turn. Yes, it's filthy. I do apologize. I don't take care of my equipment. I've had this for a long time. So long that these tires, the original tires, which are 18 by 7.5-8s, are going flat, and even my front tires, one of them goes flat. So I'm going to change all 4 tires. But I love this machine, but one problem I've always had with it is traction on slight inclines, slippage. So I wanted to look into the possibility of widening the tire, and so I will be attempting that today. So the original tire, again, is an 18 by 7.50-8, and I'm wanting to replace the wheel tire assembly with an 18 by 8.50-8, and the way I hope to do this is with a 1-inch thick wheel spacer that is designed for golf carts, and so I will be removing this original tire and then putting the spacer on and putting on the 18 by 8.5, and hopefully it will work great. So I installed the 1-inch spacer and it looks great, except that the lugs actually stick out past it just a hair, and so it doesn't properly seat the wheel. So I've gone and purchased a 1.5-inch spacer from the same company, and we'll be putting that spacer in, which will give me enough room for sure. I hope it doesn't put my tires out too wide in terms of the span of the actual mower housing itself. So this spacer was almost good enough, but these lugs were too long, and you can get 1.25-inch versions of these, but the site I was using, Amazon, I could only find them in 4s, and I only needed 2. So I went for the 1.5s, and know that's plenty of room. So here's, everything's the same except it's 1.5 inches instead of 1 inch. As mentioned before, make sure your nuts, when they go back on, the bevel is facing in. Helps it properly seat on the wheel. Yeah, so I picked a 8.5 inch wide tire as opposed to the original 7.5. The reason I didn't pick a 9.5 was because tire width would go out beyond the blade housing, possibly on both sides. I would love to have the extra traction with this smaller mower, as this particular model, as much as I love it, it does like to slide on inclines. So my hope is that we will avoid that sliding a little bit. You notice I'm using a regular socket set. The automobile crosses and so forth, they're too thick to go into this opening. And this fits just nice and easy. So the hub still comes out, no problem. With this particular brand, the original wheel lugs are 13/16, and the replacement lugs, or the added lugs, are 3/4. To be honest, I don't know. Haven't looked into my original wheel set tires, whether they are tubed or tubeless. This wheel I bought is tubeless, and as I've mentioned, its tread is a little more like a road tread than a knobby tread, and I don't know if that's going to work for me or against me. But reviews were good. Okay, so the tire is still inside on that. That's awesome. So it's not going to like hit a fence post before, let's say, the side of the deck would hit the fence post, or coming up close to a fence line to get to as close as possible to cut against it. The tire will still be inside of where this deck is at its nearest point to the mower. So that's good. So now I've got an additional 2 inches of tread space on the ground in the back, one on each side, and hopefully this will alleviate some of my issues with inclines. I'm real happy with that. So as a quick recap, this is a TORO TimeCutter MX 4260. So it's got a 42-inch deck. Love this machine, but all the 3 out of the 4 wheels were giving out on me, running out of air, and I didn't want to go change the tubes if they were tubed, or change the tires if they were tubeless, and I wanted a wider back span, so I took this opportunity to change from a 18 by 7.50-8 to an 18 by 8.50-8, and I needed to use a 1.5 inch spacer, which will be linked in the description. And I'll also, just for the fun of it, I'll link the source of my front tire, which is now a solid tire. It won't ever run out of air. Use it. I'll just give that to you in case you want to replace your fronts as well. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your attention. I don't anticipate doing this kind of thing very much. I've never done this kind of demo. No need to like or subscribe, unless you just feel like it. So thanks for your attention, and have a great day, evening, week, year, great life.